Okay, these are the math notes for the challenge group for Chapter 4, Lessons 1 through 5. Go ahead and pause the video while you get your notes set up. Alright, now that you have your notes set up, we're going to start with Lesson 4.1. There are two main things that you need to know. When you are multiplying by powers of 10, I'm going to go ahead and zoom that in a little bit. The number is going to get larger, so the number gets larger. When you multiply by a power of 10. And the decimal moves to the right. So you're going to be moving the decimal to the right for every power of 10. So for example, 10 to the 0, that exponent lets you know that that decimal is not going to move because 10 to the 0 equals 1, and anything times 1 is the identity property, it stays the same. 10 to the first, that exponent 1 lets you know that you're going to move it one place to the right because it equals 110. It's just 110. 10 to the second equals 100, which is 10 times 10, so that's 2 tens. Your decimal would move 2 places. 10 to the third is 100. You would move your decimal, 10 to the third is 1,000. You would move your decimal, I am really off right here, sorry. 10 to the second is 100. You move it 2 places. 10 to the third is 1,000. You move it 3 places. So 2.47 times 10 to the, let's just do to the first, we would be moving that decimal 1 place to the right. So this decimal goes right there, and my answer becomes 24.7. So it went from 2 whole things to 24 whole things. It just got 10 times larger. And if we do 2.47 times 10 to the second, which is 100, we're going to move the decimal 2 places. So it goes 1, 2, and my answer becomes 247. See that decimal at the end? If you don't have anything after it, you actually don't even need it. It just becomes 247, and that is 100 times larger. So we started at 2 and we ended at 247. So the patterning on this is just moving the decimal 1 place for every increasing exponent. Now, the inverse of this is if you have a number and you are multiplying by a fraction, the number gets smaller or decreases in value when multiplying by a decimal. So when we have 1/10 or 0.1 or 1/100th or 0.01, now our decimal is going to move to the left. For every power of 10. So we have 1/10 would be 0.1. It moves 1 place. 1/100th is 0.01. It moves 2 places. So if we start with, let's just use the same number we did on the left, 2.47, and we multiply by 0.1, this lets us know that our decimal is going to move 1 place to the left. And it becomes 0.247. That's not even a whole number yet. And when we don't have a whole number here, we can fill that in with a 0. 2.47 times 0.01 or 1/100th, we're going to move it 2 places to the left. And you know that anytime we have an empty spot here, we need to put a placeholder there. And so we will put a 0 right there. And our answer becomes 0, that's the 0 we filled in, 2, 4, 7, and then we put a 0 in a placeholder. I mean, in our ones place. All right, that is the gist of lesson 1. So what you're going to do now is open up your Go Math to page 170. So you're going to do page 170A in Go Math, but you're only going to do problems 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then you'll check in with me to be able to advance on to the next lesson. So pause the video, and once you get approval to go on and you've done your quick check, then you can unpause and we'll do 4.2. Okay, 4.2 is multiplying decimals by whole numbers. There are 2 strategies that we're going to talk about here. The first strategy is called the model. It's just using a model to figure this out. So if we were to use a model to answer 0.8 times 4, which here's our whole number, 4, and we're going to be multiplying this decimal by 4. If we use a model, we can see that this is a hundredth. So we're going to create our hundredth model. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's 10 up and 10 sideways. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so here's our whole split into tenths. But notice that we're multiplying hundredths, not tenths. So now we need to make this model into a hundredth model by basically just crossing these. And we're going to cut every tenth into 10 parts. And that becomes 10 times 10 or 100. So here's our hundredth model. Okay. Now when we do this, we just need to do 8 hundredths 4 times. And you have to remember that each one of these boxes right here, this little box equals 1 100th. So if I need 8 of them, I'm going to color them in. So we'll start with yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I just did that 1 time. Now I'm going to change my color and do it 2 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I colored in 8 more boxes. I'm going to change my color and do it a 3rd time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm going to change my color and do it a 4th time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can go ahead and pause the video and get yourself caught up anytime you need to. So now I have 4 groups of 8 hundredths, and to figure out the answer for this, I just count up the boxes because each box is 1 100th. I can either go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, or I know that every column is a 10, and I have 3 columns, so this would be 10, 20, 30, and I have 2 more left over, so this would equal 32 hundredths. Now that's the first strategy. The second strategy is, so this one was the model strategy. The second one is using repeated addition. All right, so we're going to do this one. Now, just like multiplying, if I were to have 8 times 4, it would be the same as 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. You're just repeating the addition. Well, we do the same thing with decimals. If we have 8 hundredths, like this, and we're doing it 4 times, we can list it 4 times and add them together. And we've already done adding decimals, so you just line up your decimal, bring it down, and add like normal. 8 plus 8 is 16, plus 8 more is 24, plus 8 more is 32, so we keep the 2, and carry the 3 up here. 3 plus nothing is 3, and 0 plus nothing is 0. Notice we get the same answer as the model. And this one is just a little bit faster. You don't have to draw the pictures. But the picture shows you what's going on. The model shows you what you're actually doing when you're adding up the 8 hundredths. So now that we've done this, you're going to pause the video and go to page 174 in your Go Math. So you're going to do page 174, and you're going to do page 174A, but you're only going to do numbers 3, 4, 7, and 9. And when you finish those and you're ready to move on, you'll get approval, and then you'll move on to the next set of notes. So go ahead and press pause, and then when you get approval, you'll go on to lesson